A good relationship with his landlord and staying lean has helped him get through this.
We were frugal and we're able to manage slowly, but this can't go on forever.
Now, all eyes are turning towards step 3. That's something that a lot of people would like to see us get into right now, because the numbers do show that we have enough vaccinations to be able to move to step 3 in the province, but the medical officer of health has said that that's not going to happen right now. So, well, when it comes to haircuts, however, I know I want to get one. I know Sanjay behind the camera wants to get one, and they have told us that we will be able to get a seat here, but we don't want to jump in front of the line. There's a lot of people waiting, but maybe by next Monday, I'll have a new do. Kat.
Thanks for that, Jacob. And we look forward to seeing what your new do will look like. So thank you for this. The CBC's Jacob Barker reporting live tonight. Also in stage 2, summer camps can offer overnight stays, but they must prepare and submit a COVID-19 safety plan to the local health unit. One camp says it's had to make changes to accommodate the rules, but hopes to welcome back most campers.
We had to prepare a COVID-19 safety plan. So basically what that entailed was all of the measures that we're taking to ensure the health and safety of our staff and campers as they relate to COVID-19, and also all of the activities that we would normally be planning, how we would amend them so that we're still able to offer that in a safe way.
Campers at this particular camp will be cohorted with those in their cabins. Staff will be cohorted separately and have to mask when interacting with the kids. There will also be no COVID-19 testing. But not all camps will move forward with an overnight program. Some say it's too late to create a plan that will keep everyone safe.
We decided quite some time ago that we want to obviously keep our campers and our staff safe, and there just wasn't enough guidance at that time for us to feel that we could safely plan for an overnight camp. Typically, one summer ends and we're already starting to plan for the next summer in terms of overnight camp. And then with all the additional COVID guidelines, it was going to be a lot to have to kind of get up and running in a very short time.
Reopening brings excitement for many, but anxiety persists. The Canadian Mental Health Association says some are struggling to reintegrate back into daily, busy social lives, feeling the fallout of isolation and burnout. Here are some words of advice.
The first thing is to reach out if you're feeling that you're overwhelmed, stressed, feeling anxious, or just unsure. Don't just sit with it. Reach out, access supports. There's supports through CMHA, but there's supports throughout the whole of our community. And then the other piece is for individuals who are more comfortable going back into the community, be patient with other people. There's still going to be lineups. None of us enjoy waiting in line, but we have to have an awareness of what other people are experiencing. We don't know if the person in front of us has anxiety, if they've had a horrific day, if they're just exhausted. So just showing patience and compassion to the rest of the community, to the rest of our community members while we're out and about.
Today marks Teresa Maritette's last day as CEO of the Windsor Essex Health Unit. In a career spanning more than 3 decades, her last act responding to the worst public health crisis in generations. Not the news the retiring CEO was hoping. Teresa Maritette says in handling the pandemic, she's done the best that she could, often working late into the night.
Professionally, it was probably the best learning experience ever. It's unfortunate it's at the end of my career, but I learned so much about our own staff, their resiliency, their flexibility, adaptability, the importance of each and every one of them and their roles, our management team, such respect for our group. I think we did the best we could. I wish we had less, people that died from the pandemic, and we had some pretty severe outbreaks, and it was. I wish we were able to do more.
Nicole Dupuis will step into the CEO role starting tomorrow, and more changes for the health unit. Starting next week, they will do live health briefings on Fridays only, and throughout the week, they'll have daily written reports on COVID numbers. And Windsor police are reporting good progress in combating loud vehicle noise on city streets. Last month, launching a summer-long campaign against just that. And as Dale Molnar reports, police say that so far the public is being compliant.
Police say a couple of hot spots for loud vehicles tends to be at Olette and Tecumseh and Dougal and Cabana. Police have issued 3 warnings and 2 tickets so far. They say they are stressing education in the enforcement campaign.
It's working, and that it is putting a message out there about this unnecessary noise or noise pollution in general. So I think that it's being taken into consideration by our community.
Bill Riley lives in South Windsor. He says the campaign has helped, but there is still work to be done.
Yeah, there was a noticeable change. It did, get quelled a little bit. But it seems to be, as the weather gets better, it seems to be raising its ugly head again. So you can hear it, especially around dusk. Apparently there was some enforcement that went on, and it did kind of go away. Now the big problem seems to be on the Herb Gray and on streets like Norfolk and Grand Maris and Dougal. There's a lot of very expensive cars with very loud exhaust systems, and you know what? You can get a nice exhaust system on a car if you want as a youngster. That's fine. I mean, I did it when I was young, but the amount of racing that is happening, I'm just afraid somebody's going to get killed. There's a lot of people walking, a lot of people riding bikes.
Police are asking the public to continue to let them know if they see and hear drivers who aren't in compliance.
The enforcement campaign continues until September 6th. Dale Molnar, CBC News, Windsor.
More unmarked burials have been discovered near a former residential school site, this time in the southern interior of British Columbia. The school was run by the federal government and Catholic Order of the Oblates. The finding is increasing pressure for a formal apology from the Pope. CBC's Olivia Stefanovic reports.
The Lower Kootenay Band is still trying to make sense of it. 182 unmarked shallow grave sites found near the former St. Eugene Mission Residential School.
We were robbed of future elders. Those people, if they had not, those children, if they had not passed away, could have been elders and teachers in our communities.
It's unclear how many may have been students. The band believes the remains belong to members of several nearby First Nations. The causes for their deaths are unknown, but what is clear, the discovery is leading to calls for action.
The Nazis were held accountable for their war crimes. And I see no difference in locating the priests and nuns and the brothers that are responsible.
The Prime Minister says he agrees accountability needs to be moved forward.
Governments have their role to play, and the Justice Department no doubt will have its role to play as well.
But Justin Trudeau also says the Roman Catholic Church needs to step up.
That's what people are expecting. I think it is a good piece of news that there are going to be meetings with Indigenous leaders with His Holiness.
A delegation of Indigenous people will travel to the Vatican in December, seeking a papal apology for the Church's role in running residential schools.
We have to seize the opportunity.
Pope Francis will meet separately with a group of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis, then the entire delegation for a final papal audience.
The Anglican Church has apologized. The Presbyterian Church has apologized. United Church has apologized. And this is really part of truth and be part of the healing and reconciliation process.
There are no guarantees, but the National Chief of the Assembly of First Nations says he's hopeful the meetings will eventually lead to an official papal apology in Canada on Indigenous soil. Olivia Stefanovic, CBC News, Ottawa.
From a childhood in war-torn Sudan to challenges as a Black immigrant in Chatham, a St. Clair College student is being honored. Sador Tekli has received the Student Leadership Medal, the school's highest honor for a graduating student. And that's thanks to a long list of things he's done in the community, from sports to student council to working at a long-term care home in Windsor. He talks about his drive to help others and how it's rooted in his experiences as a young boy in Sudan.
To come here to be with amazing people, I always told myself since I came here that I'm going to take advantage of everything that I do, but I will also help people. And in that, I find my purpose because I've been helped by so many people that I feel now I have to pay forward. And so being involved is just something that I do because I'm just grateful, and I have a lot of gratitude and just have a lot of amazing people in my life that showed me the way. I went to a refugee school, and I saw tanks going by my school. And I say that because there was a war going on that was literally a mile away from where I went to school. So having to see that as a kid was very scary. And I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to live that day or was it going to be my last day there. Living under constant surveillance by the government, living in war, living in a famine, you have climate change going against you, lack of resources, inflation hit the country, so everything became very expensive. So everything that you could possibly think of worse living in, I was living in that environment. And the only thing that I had with me was my mom and my sister. Those were the two rocks to my foundation who kept me strong, who kept me alive to keep surviving. Down the road, I want to work with people who've just been ignored. We're talking about youth at risk. We're talking about racialized youth. We're talking about youth that are living in poverty. I sort of want to be in that area where I just want to uplift youth from the circumstances that they're in, so they're able to be recognized and be given the opportunity, because they also have potential. But if they're just given the opportunity, I'm sure they will make a lot of great changes.
For those driving on the Ambassador Bridge, you might notice parts of it are missing. The Ambassador Bridge Company says the bridge is getting rehabilitated. So that means a new roadway, street lights, steel girders, and wiring. Construction on the U.S. side began last February. The Canadian side started about a month ago. It's unclear when the process will be complete, but the bridge is currently just single-lane traffic. The company says more than $100 million have gone into fixing the 92-year-old bridge over the past 3 years. And there's a live look of that bridge. The chance of showers continues tonight and tomorrow, but there is some relief on the horizon. So Colette Kennedy will be with us with your full weather forecast right after the break and an update on that missing hawk we told you about last week. Stay with us. CBC News told you last week about a Chatham man who lost his Harris hawk. We're happy to say that the two have been reunited. It took 9 days of searching for Majestic, or MJ for short. His owner says it's all because of the support and tips from the community.
So the stick allowed me to get a ladder and get up close enough. I had a quail in my hand, and as soon as I got the quail close enough to her feet, she came out with her foot, grabbed the quail, and at that point I know she's not going to release, and then I grabbed the stick and the jesses and pulled her down from the tree. The community response was amazing as well. Like, if it wasn't for the community response, we wouldn't have got our bird back, because so many people were out looking every day. People I don't even know, complete strangers, texting me on Messenger just saying, "We hope you get your bird back. We're out looking for her." I got her back, and she's been great. Like, I'm shocked. She has no feather damage. She's super healthy, super strong. I'd even say at the end of this, her being out on flying around for 9 days, she's probably in the best shape of her life that she's ever been right now. So I can't tell you like how good of an ending it was, and how lucky I was as well to have the community support and to be able to get her back.
Colette Kennedy, I'm kind of amazed watching him with the bird just on his arm.
Just
I
sitting
haven't seen
there.
that before.
Oh, if that bird could tell us the adventures it had while
I know
it was
the
flying
things it
free.
must have seen. But nice to see that it's back with its owner. He had told us before about their special friendship, so it's nice.
I know his daughter must be pleased. So
yes, exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's see how pleased you're going to be with this forecast that we have for you. Yeah, this is an important one for many. So looking ahead to tomorrow, we do have scattered showers and a few isolated thunderstorms bubbling up again. We still have some in the vicinity, which I'll show you on the radar. But yeah, be aware it's not going to be the entire day. There's going to be much of the day to enjoy. I mean, with dry conditions, and then we just need you to be prepared for those moments when this moves in. Improving skies on Friday. We're going to find the precipitation is towards the east. And how about the heat? Yeah, it's going to come down for a day or two a little bit. And then, you know, that heat from Western Canada, not that extreme, but it's going to be building back in here, coming in over the weekend, especially into the beginning of next week. So our current temperatures, it's 25 degrees, and it feels like 33. The dew points are coming down a little bit. A northwesterly breeze kind of helps with that. There are a few of those isolated storms still in the vicinity, and even through the overnight towards early tomorrow morning, a risk of a little pop-up. Then we get into that drier period that we'll be seeing. There's your pop-up in the morning, and then a few bubbling up again into the afternoon. But did you see there's also a lot of sunshine in there? It's partly what enhances that and makes that occur, but it'll make for some pleasant times throughout the day too. So a little fog towards tomorrow morning before we lose that. 19 to 20, those overnight lows. Tomorrow, mid-20s, feeling a little warmer than that, but not too extreme. And then looking ahead at your Friday, yeah, the precipitation was over towards Lake Ontario and less towards Lake Erie. And so we'll be seeing 24, and then there it starts coming back at us. Upper 20s Saturday into the low 30s. And yes, like I said, those humidex values starting to go up towards 40 again too, Kat.
Thanks for this, Colette, and enjoy your long weekend.
You as well. Thank you.
Now, when we come back, folks are stocking up on fireworks, so we'll tell you more about that after the break. Pennsylvania's highest court has overturned Bill Cosby's sexual assault conviction. The court says an agreement Cosby had with a previous prosecutor should have prevented him from being charged in the case. Cosby was released from a prison outside Philadelphia soon after the decision. Cosby served more than 2 years of a sentence that could have stretched to 10 years. He had been convicted of drugging and molesting Andrea Constand, a Temple University employee, at his suburban estate in 2004. The previous prosecutor promised not to charge Cosby when he gave potentially incriminating testimony in Constand's civil suit. A bill that would make so-called conversion therapy illegal has failed to clear the Senate before the summer break. The practice of trying to change someone's sexual orientation is widely condemned as homophobic, abusive, and dangerous. Now, if an early election is called, it could kill the legislation.
Mr. Trudeau preferred to try and play politics with this. That's why it's in the dying days of this session. And I will have a commitment that is crystal clear. We will stand up and fight for the rights of all Canadians, including the LGBTQ community.
Conservative leader O'Toole blames the Liberals for the impasse. Even though he voted for the bill, some of his MPs voted against it in the House. The government bill arrived in the Senate only last week after inching through the House of Commons for months. The oohs and ahs will be on full display this weekend as folks load up with fireworks for the long weekend.
To make it more special because the restrictions are gone, like a little bit, more lay load, and we're just gonna make the best of it for their family, because we want to experience, what Canada Day is.
I mean, how long has it been since we've been back to regular life, I miss it. I miss going to the mall. I miss being everywhere. Thank God we're opening. I just want to go back to normal life, if I'm going to be honest. So, it's great for the small businesses being open, making more money, finally coming back up, I don't know.
People are getting tired, frustrated, staying at home. I myself consider as the other public as well. Everybody wants to enjoy the fresh air, God gifted. And then the occasion of Canada Day is a big occasion for every Canadian, and I feel like that should be celebrated, but definitely within the guidelines of the government law as well.
Now that is it for CBC Windsor News. Now as we go into the long weekend, we'll still have news at 6 province-wide, but CBC Windsor will be back with you on Monday night. So we'll see you then. Have a great night.